All right, well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to our final speaker series. No, wait, I should say the last installation of the speaker series for the semester. But before we get started, of course, we must give the San Mateo District Foundation their recognition for supplying the beverage and food this evening, which they've done throughout the semester. Okay, now we will go into our regular programming. This evening, we have a very special guest. Jason Mayo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
And we're gonna listen to his journey, but we encourage everyone to please ask questions. For those of you on Zoom, you can send in your questions. We are monitoring your questions via the Q&A. So Jason.
Yes, sir.
You have an interesting story. You're into sports nutrition,
Yes.
entrepreneur. Personally, I can relate to the sports nutrition.
Look at you. You dabbled into it a little bit.
Yeah.
You tell?
And so, how did you, get your start? Help us understand your beginnings, and then we're gonna go into your educational journey.
Certainly. Thank you for the introduction, Rand. I appreciate it. Just want to say thank you, everybody, for stopping by and inviting me here. This is my first time doing one of these talks at Cañada College, everyone, and very intimate. It's a great setup. And thank you, Will. He's the one who invited me and gave me this opportunity. I started, well, let me go way back. I'll just let you know I've been doing business for about 21 years. It's called San Mateo Sports Nutrition. A few of you probably familiar. I see a customer of mine right here, few customers. Before that, it was called Max Muscle Sports Nutrition. It was a franchise. Rand, you're very familiar with it. You can tell where his history started. It blessed me with so many more opportunities and led me a place, such as here. So let me go ahead and rewind a little bit how I got into this whole industry. I got in this industry before that sports nutrition was even a thing. Many of you pretty much take supplements like creatine and protein that wasn't even really like a mainstream products. I kind of got into it through the traditional working out, through football, playing sports, which led me to going inside a GNC, which was one of my very first few jobs that I encountered. When I got fascinated with the transformation of bodies and working out and taking products, that captivated me. So one of the learning lessons I learned from entrepreneurship is once you find something that you guys are into, just follow the path and see where it leads. One thing will always lead to another because you always want to keep moving. And so what happens was I started working at GNC, personal training. So I was all into fitness and nutrition. And so what happened afterwards, it kind of had a decision on what I wanted to do after high school. So I started thinking about what do I want to major in? And this is another fork in the road for a lot of you guys who are undecided. And I went into dietetics. Dietetics is something that I wasn't particularly sure of until I did an internship, found out it wasn't for me, but I still had the passion and desire to do, something with working out. And then I just changed my major to management. So I figured, okay, the safest thing I can do is to graduate with a degree. I went to Purdue University in Indiana, and I already had a job offer, 4 job offers in sports nutrition. The only one that was available in California, I took. I wanted to come back home, and my first job ever was at a sports nutrition manufacturing, and I haven't left the industry since. So I've been doing this for, I'll be 50 years old. I've been doing this for about 30 plus years. I started working at GNC when I was 16. So all I know is supplements. What I do for work, most of my clientele's young people. So that's why I kind of have this youthful attitude. You guys keep me feeling young. I appreciate it. But what I've learned throughout the whole course of entrepreneurship and going through all the experiences of how to start a business was really the humble beginnings from GNC, which is the human interaction, how to speak, how to connect with people. And let me tell you guys, if you guys are going to be going into a business or any type of industry where you're going to be dealing with a lot of people, I'll just say my first principle would be this. You will be going to a school to get your degree in whatever you guys choose. That's pretty obvious. But the second part I always want you guys to understand is there's always two businesses in a job, especially when you're doing a new, when you're on your own business. So the one is obviously what you're skilled at and what you study for. The second part is dealing with people, the social aspects of it. So I didn't do so well. I'll admit it, I didn't do so well in my academics. I did enough to graduate, but I spent most of my time learning how to negotiate and to build networking and plant that seed because I was smart enough to know I can't know everything in terms of like, I don't have the capacity to study and absorb the information. So I had a strategy where like, you know what, I'm just gonna hang out with smart people. And that also translates into your career. There's always going to be people that are going to be smarter than you. So your best strategy and advice is just to say, hey, come with me. You're going to be in my circle. And I guarantee most of you guys, I don't know, haven't spoke with many of you, but some of you guys are from out of city. And what I admire about that is you guys are taking a leap of faith to meet new people, a new circle of friends and networks. And the strategy I would probably impose on you guys is try to find people who you think would be someone you can probably ask questions on how to help you guys out in the future. Because what I find out now is I'm very weak in some certain aspects in my job when it comes to numbers, when it comes to the behind the scenes operations. It's just not in my DNA, in my nature to be like writing down the taxes and the P&Ls. My strength and what comes out of me naturally is just my social. So if you guys are going to be in a business, find something that kind of relates to what your true nature is. If it's social, I mean, find something where you're going to be standing up, maybe giving speeches, maybe doing sales. But at the same time, I have a business partner who is really smart in the P&Ls and the taxes. So moving forward, after, I work for a manufacturing, I've done sales, I've done retail, and I finally got my break in knowing what I wanted to do at 28 years old. That's when I signed up to open my own business. It was the scariest thing, but the most nerve-wracking, but it's the most exhilarating process you guys will ever decide. And I'm here to tell you that each one of you guys, I feel connected with. And I honestly mean that. I feel so safe with you guys because we all have the same mindset. And I'll explain that a little later. And hopefully you guys will get the gist on what I'm going to explain. But each one of you has a desire to do something on your own. And I know most of you guys had a decision like, I want to do something on my own. That's what entrepreneurship and business is. It's kind of like, I was the kid, for example, that always stood out from everybody instead of standing in. I was the person that always asked a lot of questions. So if you ask a lot of questions and people might get annoyed by it, that's just how you're wired. So it's a strength for you and not a weakness. So just kind of, if you have characteristic like where people, you can be observant and pick up on it, I say, hey, find a passion that will suit what you're really strong at, and everything else will naturally fit in. So can I use you for an example? He knows I'm very energetic, and it almost seems like an act. It's almost like I'm a pre-workout on 2 feet, but it's just naturally how I am, and that's what made my identity, my San Mateo Sports Nutrition, very successful in my opinion. You are the direct reflection of your personality, your characteristics, that the store will reflect. So before you guys ever decide to open up your own, first make sure to know who you are as a person first and foremost. And I can help you guys with that. And I'm sure we're gonna go a little deeper in that. This is my career, which opened up a lot of opportunities. I get to do whatever I want. I get to hire whoever I want. I get to work as long as I want, and that's the freedom of entrepreneurship, you guys. That's why I encourage you guys to fulfill your dreams, and you guys will figure it out. I always value whatever efforts you guys put in, whatever money you guys make, that's all on you. And there's no offense to this, but you guys will probably understand. I just couldn't understand working 80 hours a week, but then you make somebody else rich. If I was to work 80 hours or even 8 hours, that's a value. If I make money off of that, that goes to me. And I don't have to pay no CEO or whatever his cut. So if I was going to do it on my own terms, you guys are in the right position. You guys will make it. And it's settings like this, the environment, which I wish I had at 20-ish years old, you guys are set up for success. You guys have 30+ minds that can help you. I didn't do it on my own, but at the same time, I learned everything through failures to get me where I'm at right now. Because I'll tell you, fear is going to be, and I'll talk about that. Fear is pretty much the number one factor why a lot of young adults don't make that leap of faith to open up their own business or their side hustle, because they're just too worried about what the world's going to tell them, society, your culture. And I hate to say it, you guys have a little bit more of a challenging uphill climb, because when I didn't have to go through social media with all the outside voices coming at you, I don't think I would have survived, because I would be like, gosh, I'm not good enough. And he's saying this, they're saying this about me. Gosh, that would fracture my confidence. So what I'm here to tell you is, don't listen to anybody. Just only listen to what you want. So when I say that, my wife, Alexandra, I always she mentions me, say, don't worry about what other people say, because it's not their dream, it's yours. And I always want you guys to fulfill what you guys always want to fulfill at the end of your life. And you can honestly say, like, I tried. And there's nothing better than saying I did it on my own terms. So and here I am today with all the work that I've been doing. I got other opportunities. And that's how it works, you guys. Will came in my shop one day. We just started talking about creatine. Omar comes in, talks about protein. Next thing you know, he goes, hey, I like the way you talk. Just being myself. But my point is, guys, just being who you are gets you opportunities, no matter what industry you're in. So I mean, you guys might be going in the corporate world, fine, but just rule that industry. Be the best you can possibly be. And don't let anybody tell you what otherwise. You put the value of yourself, okay? And then, because I like to talk to young adults who are just kind of like, I don't know what I want to do. And this is where I come in. I fish them. And I encourage you guys, if you guys don't know what you guys want to do in life, and you guys are just going with the flow, because you know that's the right thing to do, and your friends are doing it, and your parents are expecting you to finish college, but you just don't really know right now what you want to do, talk to me. Well, actually talk to each one of you guys, because you guys have the same nature of entrepreneurship. Because your true gift might be just one conversation away from being exposed. And hopefully after this conversation today, my job, my role, my mission is to kind of just poke that little lion that's in you. Like, get him mad or get him intrigued, and like, that's interesting. And once that happens, that's where I come in and I draw it out of you. Because sometimes you guys have a lot of dreams that are shut up in you. Everybody has. What happens is, you come across what I call dream killers in your life. And it usually can start out first with your parents. And your friends, your closest relatives, people that you're closest with. They're the ones who are supposed to pull them out of you. And I'm here to tell you, you guys are in a perfect environment right now because you guys all have a connection. Entrepreneurship, God, we can talk about this all day and ideas will flow. The wealth of knowledge that each one of you guys have through Rand, this is it. You guys are in a special place right now. And I can't wait till one day I can say, Will, Omar, any of you guys, I'll sit right here. I want to be out there watching and I want to hear your story. That's really all it is. Business is just showcasing what we have gone through, the celebration and whatnot. But what really intrigues me about it is the journey. I always say at the end, Rand, when after we're all done doing this, we're probably camping and fishing and we're at a campfire. I'd be like, so tell me how you start. We're not going to be talking about like the accomplishments. Most of the times we're going to be talking about, do you remember a time, man, I was broke, jumped from job to job, and I got my break. I did a lecture, I bombed it. I mean, those are the things we're going to talk about. Those failures are the ones that create you. So I'm all about building people up that were maybe a little broken down. I usually can figure them out pretty quick. And so that's my specialty. But sports nutrition supplements, that's just my disguise. That's just my platform to do what I want to do, which is to encourage the minds of tomorrow, the next generation, to set them up. Be like, hey, this is what I learned. I mean, I'm just a normal guy. I did my work, but there are some characteristics and experiences that I know you guys will benefit through my stories. And I'm gonna get to it pretty soon. But San Mateo Sports Nutrition, this will be my 21st year successfully. I opened right before the 2008 crash, which I don't recommend anybody doing. How I survived was just sheer will. I slept at my place. Humble beginnings. I worked 7 days a week. I grinded. I was doing everything to save money because I dumped my whole life into that. I cut my friends out. Entrepreneurship is a very lonely road. If you guys aren't ready for that, I don't suggest it. Because sometimes a lot of people who are your friends, maybe your childhood friends, your longtime friends, they're going to be your biggest toxic demise. And so you might have to cut them out and include the friends like this to be your source of motivation. Because, like I said, your friends aren't going to care whether you win or you fail. They're not going to bail you out and give me, extra loan of money. They're just going to be like, can I get a discount? Will you ride your coattails? And we need to go for a ride along until you don't make it. But then, hey, you can hang out with us again. You guys got to have this attitude of like, I'm confident enough to do it and I'll do it on my own. You'll figure it out.
So, you mentioned as you go through this journey, the failures. So can you help, your mindset to push past, those situations? And I mean, I wouldn't necessarily call them failures. It's like setbacks, or I call them inconveniences, because, every road has its,
Yeah.
peaks and valleys.
Yeah.
So how did you manage, those, inconveniences?
Well, I'll start where it all happened. I think the best thing I can probably say is when do you know when it's right for you? When do you know when it's time to change? When do you know when it's time to, you're gonna make it? And I'll start with change. And I'll go into what are you gonna change into? What kind of mindset? And that's kind of like the first and foremost thing before you guys have the most brilliant job ready to go. It could be the newest thing, but if you don't have this yet, the way you think, you're not gonna get off, you're not gonna get past the honeymoon stage. So my point is, there comes a time, each one of you guys will have this battle with yourself in the inside of your brain. It's pulling on you. And that's called the season of change. And what I mean by that, there comes a time in your life when mom and dad aren't gonna be around, and you're gonna have to make that decision on what do you wanna do. Whether you wanna work for yourself, take that leap, or you're just gonna be like, you know what, I'll just work for any job and I'm here for a paycheck. Nothing wrong with that. Let me tell you, what I learned through the experience is change is one thing in life, it's permanent in life, but yet people are afraid of it. It's the only thing we can guarantee in life is change. So what I'm trying to say is we have to learn to manage and grow through change. But change is beautiful. I mean, there's no improvement without change. And one of the biggest demises is sometimes it gets us stuck, and we can't move forward. And so I just had this epiphany where, you know, just like I just decided I'm just gonna do this on my own, and I don't care if I fail, I'm gonna learn. So I think that was kind of like where I started to kind of like just started reading a lot of books on how to self-develop my brain, and just that's when I kind of changed my identity from my old self to my new self. And that's the first thing you guys gonna have to encounter is the change, like a new you.
Okay, so let's go into, I mean, because you have this mindset, this attitude, you're in sports nutrition.
Yes.
So why did you continue in sports nutrition instead of selling bicycles or quilted elephants or something like that? Because, you know, you can have this mindset, and sometimes that mindset can be applied to anything. You know, it's just like, you know, there's some salesmen who can sell you anything. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, okay, you're in sports nutrition.
I just chose sports nutrition because I knew right away that was me. That passion that you have. I mean, when you guys all heard about finding your why and your purpose and whatnot, that's key number one, right? But that usually after that, once you kind of find what you want to do, if there's no passion behind it, like that's going to be your battery. That's going to be the thing that wakes you up every single morning. That's going to be your coffee pre-workout to get you going. That's all you think about. And all I thought about, I was obsessed with the body's ability to change. And through taking supplements at that time, I'm like, this is my dream job. So yeah, nobody even heard of sports nutrition back then, but I was already into it, and I'm going to make a career out of it. Now today it's a $1 billion industry, but I was in it at the right time. So to answer your question, why did I do it? Because you guys will have that in your intuition, like in your gut, that is what you're meant to do. I'm coming to a stage now where I'm kind of not outgrowing, but I'm seeing more opportunities, such as this, public speaking, right? And that is starting to kind of become the new source of motivation. So what I'm trying to say is, you might not know exactly what your career in the long run is going to be, but whatever today is, whatever intrigues you, not because your buddies are doing it, not because it's what's trending, not what social media is encouraging you to do. And I don't care what it is. It could be music, it could be art, it could be like the next AI trending and the next, whatever it is, that's what you're born to do, guys. There's two things, okay, I'm gonna end it. There's your job and there's your work. You think you know where I'm going with this? Your job is what they pay you to do. Your work is what you were born to do. If you guys don't know what that is, look at somebody who's making a career and just doing music. I'm sure you guys know somebody that does something that's not traditionally conventional around here, but they're making money. I see kids, they're doing YouTube videos, they're banking right now. And they're doing it through video games, they're doing it through dolls, but they're making the money. More money that I had to pay for a college tuition, and a lot of you guys are probably gonna have to be paying afterwards too, but these kids are making it. And they're just doing it because that's what they like to do. And they found a way how to make money with it. Okay. That's basically why I did San Mateo Sports Nutrition. So it's mainstream now. Find something that you guys want to do. Start here. Your end goal is here. Draw a straight line. Figure out how to make money. Don't worry, you guys are smart. Look at you guys. You guys can help each other out. You guys have endless opportunities with social media. There's no way you guys can't figure out how to make some money. But money is not always the true path to happiness. What I'm trying to say is find something that's more important than making money. It's your fulfillment. That's why I continue to work for San Mateo Sports Nutrition. On top of meeting cool people like you.
So, I want to go into the nuts and bolts and talk shop a little bit about sports nutrition.
Yes, sir.
Just because one, like you mentioned, social media, people, especially this generation, they're being bombarded with a bunch of stuff. Some of the stuff is not even real. Some of it is not really obtainable. And like we were having a conversation earlier about just quality of life, longevity, and how sports nutrition can contribute to that.
Sure.
And also there's a reality of, they're finding sicknesses in younger people in their mid-20s that you wouldn't see until you're in your 50s.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So how can, sports nutrition, contribute to their longevity? Especially now that, now sports nutrition is it's not regulated.
Sure.
I could go make something in my garage and then be selling it, in Safeway.
Yeah, it's very
And how can we, help them make educated, conscious decisions?
good question. This is a little bit up my alley. I'll try to break it down as easy as I can. When I started, it was a wild, wild west. You literally can make anything you want in your bathtub and sell it. There's regulations now. People got hurt. Parents got really upset, sued a lot of people. So there's now laws, obviously. We can't get certain ingredients that we used to, but now today I want to say there's always going to be some bad apples out there, just like with any industry. There's always going to be people who are going to try to cheat the system and profit off people who are naive or just don't understand about ingredients. They just want I want to be big and swole tomorrow. I get it. And that's kind of like with who they're targeting. So knowledge is the key to everything. I don't know about you guys. When I was 20 years old, I wasn't really thinking so much about my mortality, meaning like I wasn't thinking about so much of my health per se. I was, at 20 years old, I was indestructible. Nothing's going to happen to me. I'll take whatever. I didn't do no steroids or nothing like that. But I was taking products that are legal now, but I had no idea what was inside of these things. Crazy. It's like poisonous. But that was the industry back then. That's how new it was, and that's how profitable it was. Now today, there's supplements everywhere, but it's almost impossible to regulate. So my answer to you is, to protect yourself, you have to do your research. I mean, just with like anything, like when you guys are looking for something to like a new computer or what, you guys are gonna do research and ask a professional, ask one of your guys, someone you can trust that would be very honest with you in terms of like telling you the real, like, yeah, I'd probably stay away from it. But it's really up to the person, because some people they're just like, I'll take anything, right? And you can't help somebody when they don't want to be helped. But you can just say, you know what, I'd stay away, but it's totally up to the decision of the person.
Right. Yeah, and it's kind of funny because as we were talking, so I had, family members who played in the league.
Yep.
And then through them, I met some Olympians.
Yep.
And it was just like, I'd ask them about like sports nutrition.
Yeah.
And the rule of thumb was for them was just like anything that says proprietary blend,
Yeah.
you stay away from. And if it's not, with the Olympians, like there were some certifications that had to be, because if not, you can easily, get, pop, So it's just like, oh man.
Well, I'm just gonna say, this is the nature. It's all about money. This is what the world we're living in. It's all about money. Whether you're gonna like hurt somebody while you're doing it, you're gonna make some money. It's just the nature of the industry. It's not the most glorious behind the scenes. It is what it is. I try to stay away from all that. I don't want negative tension our way. I do it straight. That's just probably why I'm still around. There were several other shops that closed down locally. I've heard that they were doing some, not so good things. That's not my MO. That's just not who I am. That's not my nature. That's not my values. That's not my standards. And that's the same thing how I pitch and I speak to my customers. I'm real, and that's kind of like the honesty and the truth. People are smart now these days. They're not easily fooled through your sales pitches and through your posts. People are smart. So everything I say, if it's risque to post, I ain't gonna post it. Like, I'm not gonna be doing what everybody's trending. It's just not me. But yeah.
Okay, so we've got a few questions
Fire.
from the audience, online audience. So the first question is, what are the biggest challenges you have faced in the sports nutrition industry?
Well, obviously what's going on right now with the tariffs, everything goes up, nothing goes ever comes back down. So I'm talking about your margins, your profits, your rent, things that you guys gonna probably be, if you guys gonna be doing your own thing, retail, you guys gonna be going through the same thing. Hardest thing, just the grind, but I loved it though. Meaning like you're gonna have to sacrifice a lot of things that were very social, like fun for you, but you literally just have to cut everything out because all my energies went into the store. That's all I had. So I'm like, sorry guys, I can't go out with you. I can't pay for this. I had to really be honest with myself and like I can't, and that's really hard. It's socially, it's really hard. Your ego takes a shot. Your pride as a guy takes a shot. I can't. Like, don't you have a store? I'm like, yeah, but my money's all here. It's all liquid. I can't take it out. You don't have much room, flexibility to do much else. That's my point. But if you find something you love to do, you'd be there regardless. Not gonna lie, money is always gonna be the problem issue because you have to pay it back. If you're gonna take a loan, that was hard. But I would say honestly, just what every one of you guys gonna have to learn is you have to learn your language. And you have to learn your systems, your logistics, like how are you gonna run a business? Like you can probably, easiest thing I can honestly say, no doubt, every single one of you guys can fork out enough money to open up a store. But my question is, how long can you guys sustain it? 2 years? That's nothing. I would say, can you go 5, 10 years? Then you can talk. Because your business will expose exactly who you are as a person. If you don't clock in early, leave late, stay extra, be fair with your employees, you're gonna be dead in water in no time. And I promise you that. I've seen so many of my friends start a business. They had all the money in the world, all the friends in the world, like they're going good first 2 years on the honeymoon, but reality set it. And they didn't know how to keep it going. They didn't know how to talk with people and say, hi, my name is so-and-so. What do you do? They didn't know how to meet new people. They didn't know how to do extra sales and, they got stuck. They didn't want to unchange their old self and to become somebody new. So my encourage you guys, when you guys start a new business, don't stop learning. I stopped reading a book at 22. I didn't open up another book till I was 32. My wife can attest to that. I got dumb. Even though I was doing okay in business, I got dumb in everything else. Like I was saying the same words. I didn't increase my own vocabulary because I didn't read a book. Until I started reading, I started changing my approach on way I speak to people. Because remember, you guys, you're not a business without people. You might get them one time. My question is, can you get them 2 times, 3 more times, 4 more times? Keep it coming back. That's the question. That's when you become a brand. And that's another discussion. But keep increasing yourself. Meaning keep leveling up. Your mentality, your thinking, that's the key. If you're gonna survive this industry, if you're gonna survive what's going on outside in the next 10 years, I'm telling you, it's not gonna be cool. It's gonna be harder. You got robots taking over, you got everything being ChatGPT, there's no human action anymore. It's a lost art. Shaking hands is a lost art. I can't even I say, hey, what's up? And they walk in the store, they're like, do I know you? Like, I used to be like, hey, what's up? Hey, how's it? The attitudes changed, you guys. You guys have to understand and read the market. You guys have to have a different approach. And that's how you start reading. You kind of understand how you can level up. So don't stop reading. Leaders are readers. Hello? Leaders are readers? Hello? Okay.
So we got another question. How important would you say is networking, or how important was networking during your journey to become an entrepreneur?
Everything. That's why I went to college for primarily. I'll be honest, I got a 2.0 when I graduated, but I think I got a 4.0 in networking. And literally, the people I spoke to in college, I'm still connected with them. And they're helping me out. They're smart because I planted that seed. I'm like, hey, I need help. You're an expert in this now. You're the CEO here. You have your own business. Can you help me out? Like, yeah, sure. You helped me out in college. You know, I did what I had to do. And it's like, I helped them. Here's my tip jar hat. And I can ask, I need help. And they'll be more encouraged to help you out. I promise you guys. One lesson that would help each one of you now, while you guys are studying, take the time, meet someone new each day. Because you never know, he or she could be the next big thing tomorrow. Don't underestimate the person who's failing in class, because academics will never portray who their true value is. Because right now, I could be bored in class right now, but I'm just so intrigued in something else. And I'm gonna be, you just don't know who's the next millionaire or the next big thing. Because one day they'll get it and next thing you know, they're all in. I was a late bloomer. Some people that kind of know where they're going, that's why you guys are here. You guys figured it out. That's why you guys are on course to get that degree. I didn't know what I really wanted to do. But one day I had one of these kind of interactions and something struck me. Next thing you know, I went from being, I thought I was dumb, to the smartest guy because I got all into it. And that's what all it takes. It happens that fast.
And so another question is, how do you use social media, or if you use social media, to benefit your business? Or is there any suggestions on how you?
Social media can be obviously a benefit. I encourage it. It's free, but it also can be a setback. I've seen people who post things that they shouldn't be posting. They're using their business account. Here's what you're a brand. When you open your business, you're automatically a brand. So don't be posting your shoes, your dog on your store brand. Hey, it doesn't fit. Your brand should be, if it's supplements, just anything supplements, just stay within your brand. If you want to post your dog and your shoes, open up your own personal brand. But my point is, everyone's watching. Everyone's having an opinion of you. So your opinions don't matter. You're not don't get into a fight with one person because everyone's watching you. Your reputation is on the line. Your brand, you guys, starts with you. Your store starts with you. When they think of San Mateo Sports Nutrition, they think of not San Mateo Sports Nutrition, they think of Jason. They go there because of you. So when you open up your store, I hope you guys are gonna be there. Most people go there because they wanna see you. I'll go drive an extra hour out of my way just to see the owner because I know I'm gonna be taken care of. And I know some of you guys will do that because you guys know that you're going to be well taken care of and you know what kind of quality you're going to get. So you drive that extra or you pay that extra. So you give that extra. You give that customer care, that customer service, that I call it the red carpet VIP treatment. Every single day, every single person. Men, women, old, young, I try to give them the experience. So when it comes to social media, that's the same kind of mentality, quality. Because whatever you post reflects your business. Does that make sense? I see companies, they post every single time, it waters it down. I'm like, post quality stuff and save everything else for your personal page. So use your page or social media, whatever you guys platform you use to your advantage, but make sure to understand that whatever you post, thinking that it's going to be beneficial, yes, but always be more conscious about how is this going to be go against you. Because once you lose that credibility, you're done.
All right, so then another question is, what did you do to expand your business and sales? I'll just say maybe from when the market crashed in 2008, you know.
Well, the 2008, I mean, there was really nothing for me to match. Like I had no previous, so I didn't know if I was doing good. I just say, hey, 2008, everybody on my block was vacant for lease. I mean, they're done. I was the only, maybe one or two that survived. I'm on downtown 4th Avenue. You know how busy that place is? It's hard. The good thing is, I would probably say because I was the new kid on the block, most people are a little bit more intrigued to come to new shops to check it out. And that's probably what kept me. And that's when I started doing like, hey, drop the seed, what's your name? And I was going the extra. Because today, what I notice in retail, it's a transaction. Here's a receipt. Nice to meet you. Nothing wrong with that. It's pretty standard. Me, I was going, what do you do? What, you know, we were having a relationship conversation, but I wasn't trying to be creepy or nothing. But the idea is, I didn't have social media back then. It's 2006. What I did was we had this like this discount. But the idea is I wanted to get your email. Because I wanted to kind of give you a little bit more of who I am after. So I would send out an email, personalized email, just one-on-one, because I had time. And so they got a chance to kind of understand who I was as a person. And I'm like, the idea is you just want to be a likable person, right? You shop at places, which helps if you like the person. Of course, you go there to buy the product. But if you're likable, hey, guys, that's a tip. If you're likable, you're in business. So make yourself likable. There's not one day where you're off. Tired. There you go. Thank you. Every day is a chance to perform. And every chance you perform, you get a chance to practice. I was raw 2000. I mean, I can have a conversation, no problem. But I was now compared to where I first started, night and day. And so what I'm here to tell you is, who you guys think you guys are right now? You guys are gonna be in 10 years or whatever. You guys are gonna be different. You guys are gonna be thinking the same with more responsibility and priorities. I always say when you get older. But the art of conversation, it's an art. Let me tell you, talking, negotiating, it's an art. To come in a room and just kill it without killing yourself and have an experience like, trust me, I got you. That's the idea. You want them to come.
Right. So we have another question. So this goes back to your college days.
Yeah.
And you're saying, you're kind of like, okay, what I want to do with this, I want to get there. So the question is, how did you continue to motivate yourself through academic challenges or setbacks?
Oh, I got on academic probation. That helped me a little bit. You see, like my mind was all about business. But I knew, which I shouldn't be encouraging you guys to do, I was out working on my strengths, which was just networking, planting that seed. But I struggled, but I knew I just needed to get, I shouldn't be, okay. I knew I was smart enough to know, like, they don't put 4.0 on a certificate. Hear me out. But you still get the same certificate if you get a 2.0. So I was smart enough to just get 2.0, but at the same time, hustle your ass off, because that's how, that was kind of like I have a strategy, have a plan, but just don't go through school just, here, I have no, that was honestly, it was unconventional on my part, but it worked for me. But in the end, I'm reaping the rewards now. These people that I helped, that was a spirit of that I caught on early, is learning how to shake hands, how are you, remembering people's names. Those are art. Carlos, right? Juan, right? Omar, right? Like, I just met you and I still remember your name. Rand, I mean, so that's what I was doing. Because I can't beat you through 4.0 and, being in the undergrad, we call it studying. There's no way, but I can beat you in everything else. So find things that are maybe not the conventional things and make them your strength. I'm a very, very, very outgoing extrovert guy. I knew that right away. And I just say, I'm gonna dominate it, get my degree, and then open up my own business. How many people can just like be that certain, that intentional? That's how I was. It's called planning, you guys. Have a plan and know who you are. That's it. That's it. But if you guys don't know who you are, I can help. Find your purpose. That's something you guys always talk about. I know you guys do. Purpose, vision, planning. They're all passion, principles. You guys will all learn about that here, I'm sure. I just helped it to put it together. And I just kind of give you, and I help what I like to do, the networking. I connect you with more people like that. I know everybody. I've been doing this for 21 years. So, and customers, I know a lot of people. So what I like to do is, what do you like to do, Carlos? What are you majoring in?
Biology.
Biology? I know a couple biology people already, professors already. So like, if you ever need like a job, for example, if you ever need like, oh, I need to hire somebody who's getting, like, come to me. I'm like the Rolodex. I don't think they use that anymore. Rolodex.
You don't know what that is.
Okay, it's like a bookkeeping of all the contacts that you have. Juan, what do you want to do?
Automotive technician.
That's my alley. All my guys. So if you need a job right away, you call on me. So my point is, be that guy that says, I know a guy. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I know a guy. Okay. When you become that I know a guy, you're in. So do you need a speaker? I know a guy. His name is Jason. He'll be here like that. He'll say yes. That's where'd Will go? Will goes, I know a guy.
How do you approach a situation where the other side's not necessarily, I don't know, like very proactive and reaching out or like even listening? Because we kind of face that here. We could have more people here, but it's just not like, I went to the office where I belonged with the international office. And I'm like, guys, there's someone speaking red next door. Nobody came.
So your question.
Yeah, how do you approach someone that it's not like proactive in reaching out or in
Lucy,
listening?
right?
Lucy.
I just met her too. See, you guys, it's an art. Use that skill because nobody likes hearing their name more than the person that's receiving it, right? So we have a connection, right? So your question is, how do you get people to kind of tune in, speaker, and they don't want to have that motivation to tune in?
Yeah.
Who's going to be doing the talking? You, Lucy?
It doesn't matter, like in
Kind of have to sell it. Enthusiasm usually sells. That's what I had to learn. It's like a used car dealer. But once they see it, they're gonna thank you. Because if you know the person's gonna be touching something that they want to hear, right? You just have to kind of have some excitement or have something of significance for them. Because you can tell anybody in here, hey, there's a great speaker, but if it doesn't, no, it's not gonna help them level up in life, like a totally different industry. Like, oh, but I'm gonna watch a basketball game. But if it's in their industry, like their career where they're going, or they're actually doing it right now, of course they'll turn. So you have to be a little strategic on how you're gonna word it. So you might not say there's gonna be a speaker, but you can say this guy's the loudest speaker and the most hyped guy you'll ever see in your life. There's nobody like him. That can be intriguing enough for him to tune in. Just get him to tune in, and that's all you have to do. So your friends, you gotta wake them up. But you gotta speak their language. You gotta get them excited. That's what I do at my work. I get everybody excited. I'm like, man, that guy is always on pre-workout. No, that's just naturally how I am. That's my passion. That's what you're born to do. You'd be excited to go to work every single time. I'm telling you guys, find what you guys want to do, love to do, and you can't stop talking about it. You guys can't, you go on Google and YouTube, all you do is look for it. People will see your passion, they'll feel it, and they will respect you for it.
Um,
Oh, I forgot your name.
oh, no.
Dios. Debo.
Diego.
Diego.
There you go.
Diego.
Almost there.
I was trying to ace everybody.
So, thank you for sharing all the gems, that you're sharing.
Thank you, Diego.
And, like, I like how that you're sharing, like, this is hosted from the interest areas, right? And I love that you're focusing on, like, right, focus on your interests, focus on your passion, that fire, right? Was there like a mentor? Was there mentors? Was there a community that ever told you, like, look, you gotta start with your interests? Like, where did that inspiration come from of, like, you gotta focus on your
It was called Mr.
interests?
and Mrs. Failures. That taught me. The School of Hard Knocks. I don't know if they try to say that. But literally, that's honestly the God's truth. I learned everything through failures on what not to do, and I ask questions. Everything that I've succeeded in my business and in life, I realize I'm not the smartest person on certain subjects and tasks. So what do I do? Hey, Ren, so before Google and YouTube, hey, how do you do this? How do you do that? That's it. That's the tool I use. And just leverage your resources of who you have around you, because 20 brains is better than one. This is be honest. And so I was bold enough to be like, hey, Omar, how do you do this? Can you show me? And hopefully he'll show me. And I'm like, check, thank you. Let me know if you need in return. Carlos, you're all into this. Look, I'm taking this class right now. Look, you're majoring in biology. This science class I'm taking, do you tutor? If you don't, I'll pay you. But the thing is, sometimes you just kind of have to ask people that are already experts in it and just have the courage to be like, hey, look, my ego, I don't know this. Can you help me? And then when you're going through the fire and you're going to probably fail, you'd be like, okay, that's not what to do. Okay, this is what to do. Check. So you're learning your system. Okay, that's it. There's no right or wrong conventional way of doing things, but if you have the will to learn, you're gonna learn. We're all smart in here. God gave us a brain, and a lot of us don't use it. Right? Remember, Omar, I taught you trading, right? I didn't teach you, but we didn't know crap. But then, boom, next thing you know, what I found out about you're good with numbers. So guess what? He does trading, so you guys need training. It's really good. The thing is, don't be afraid to ask people. Don't be afraid to ask Rand. Don't be afraid to ask your faculty members here at Cañada. That's what they're paid to do. But nobody goes in their office. Can I ask you a question, Mr. Professor? My dad was a professor. He got people all the time. He wouldn't come home for a while. And I was cool with that. So I learned the spirit of helping others. And they're doing good now. So ask questions. Learn from your failures.
All right, so one last question in closing, I would ask, and he said a whole lot.
I can talk.
But there's one last question. Right now, where they're at, what piece of advice you'd share with them that you wish someone had shared?
Attitude. That's it. Attitude means you're thinking the way you think. Attitude means like, I believe you could do it. Do you believe you can do it? That's it. Because a lot of times when you guys were probably taking down how many courses you're gonna take, your heart started beating fast. I remember that. You guys were going to be going for your first interview for your first job. Right? It's all about attitude. How are you gonna get the job? Or if you guys don't know how to show off who you are as a person, I ain't gonna hire you. Remember I talked about being likable? It's a lot in this world nowadays because you may have a 4.0, you may have a degree. But if we have an interview and I don't like you, you're not gonna get hired. I'll hire somebody else I can connect with. Cause I don't wanna deal with drama. I have enough on my plate. It's kind of like where it's going right now, because you can be replaced now these days with robots or just outsource. That's just the name of the beast. But you guys have to have another dimension of yourself, and the best one would be your attitude. The way you guys think, the way you guys carry yourself, the way you guys be humble, don't brag, just be in your lane. You can have your opinions, but make sure if it's business, stay within your lane. Because the business don't care about your opinions a lot of times if it's not within, topics of who you're working for. Attitude is everything. It's almost like, I don't have no time, but I always use this analogy that, why the lion is always the king of the jungle. We live in this jungle of life right now. And why is he the king? He's not the biggest, he's not the strongest, he's not the tallest, he's not the fastest, but yet he's the leader, right? And that's attitude. He sees an elephant, he goes, that's lunch. 100 times bigger, 60 times more powerful. But the lion says, that's a double for me. Why is he the leader? It's mentality. He's the leader. You guys need to have that killer instinct leader. I can do that. I can take down that elephant and eat him for dinner. You guys need to approach life like that nothing is too big. So everything that you think is big, your problems in your life right now, that size of an elephant, you need to think like a lion and be like, no problem, I can handle that today. And it'll be done. And while I'm going through this, I'm gonna learn some new things. That's the spirit. That's the spirit. More failures that you guys will go through, you guys will come out of this, maybe wounded, a little bruised up, but you add a new dimension on yourself that you guys didn't know through going through the fire. So lion mentality, I want to say on closing, I want to say thank you, Rand. He's a lion. He told me his story. Aiden, my nephew, thank you for coming. My wife, Alexandra, people I'm very familiar with. And I also want to introduce, if it's okay, a special guest. If you guys don't mind.
Yeah.
And I want to say, if you guys don't mind, give it ovation, clap. And it's the person that is sitting in your chair right now who I want to say, you guys are the leaders of tomorrow. And I'm very proud and honored to be here because you guys are the next future. And I want to sit here and one of you guys will be sitting here with Rand one of these days. And you guys tell your story. You guys all have a story. You guys are all lions. You guys all have a dream. And I want you to say, tell you guys will do it. Just take that leap of faith. And I promise you, you're going to hit a couple bumps and bruises, but you guys are going to be the greatest of this generation from here to come. So thank you guys for having me. Come visit me. I'm in downtown San Mateo. If you guys ever want to continue to talk about your dreams, aspirations, I would love to, continue our conversations one-on-one where I can probably be of assistance. Let's just do that. And thank you, Cañada College, for having me. People on Zoom, thank you for your questions. Thank you for watching. And just, you can hit me up on Instagram, JWorldwide TV. That's my moniker. I post a lot more of my entrepreneurial, my stories on what things to do, So if you want more information, hit me up on there, message me there. And I'm always open for more talks.
All right, thank you.
Hey, guys.